Welcome back to the program, everyone. As promised, we've been joined by two guests from the Black Nurses Association of Northern Delaware, and we're going to let them introduce themselves, but say thank you so much for coming on the program.
And thank you for having us. I'm excited.
We're excited also. We were talking yesterday, and we thought that everything that you're doing is so wonderful. We wanted to be able to talk about it as soon as possible. So we put up the logo there, and we have Tracy and Cheryl with us. So give us a little bit of background. Isn't that neat?
Yes, it does.
Give us a little, thanks Abed and Keisha, that's fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Give us a little bit of information about the Black Nurses Association.
So the Black Nurses Association is a national organization, so it's a national Black Nurses Association. It was started in 1971 and still going strong, and its purpose is to advocate for minority health care. That was the initial purpose, and that's what it still is. And then also to impact the healthcare disparities. For African Americans, our numbers for everything is always higher, okay? And we're always disproportionate to other people. So the Black Nurses Association was created to impact that.
Okay.
We are the Northern Delaware chapter of the National Black Nurses Association, and there's also a chapter downstate in Delaware, but we're the Northern Delaware chapter. And we started, Ralisha Grimsley actually started the chapter. 2011 we started to get things together, and by 2013 we were full force. By 2014 we were able to get like our 501c3 and all that organizational stuff, and here we are.
Okay.
Okay. So what state, I know you said what year it established, was it established here in Delaware or?
No, it wasn't established in Delaware, it was California, if I'm not mistaken. It was California. There are,
I think it's almost every state
there's
has some representation,
90.
and then some states have more than one. Delaware has two, but as the states get bigger, the representation is bigger in each different district of that state. So when we go to Capitol Hill, for instance, we meet diverse population of Black nurses that have a zeal and a desire to address the healthcare disparity across the nation. And so we're hoping that we're going to impact the cultural differences that are being tackled when the Black patient population are going into see the healthcare professionals.
Now, is this for male and females, or is?
Yes.
Just the whole entire population. Anybody that wants to be part of the Black Nurses Association can be an LP, licensed practical nurse, as well as a registered nurse to help with the community outreach.
We had one guy, Marvin, about 2 or 3 years ago. We had one guy, and he was actually pretty good. We talked to him when he was here. He was one of the people that got us interested in doing the male initiative. We started talking about it like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and this year is the first year that we really got going on it. And it also national is focused on men's health this year as well.
So tell us about that initiative. You spoke about it a little bit last night.
So there is a lot of focus always on women's health care. You have the big breast cancer. You have, women in stroke and silent signs, and everything that has to do with women, teen pregnancy. That's women focused. And men, it's not that there aren't things available for men, but you just don't hear a lot of things. When you go to exhibits, you don't see a lot of exhibits that's focused towards men. So we decided that men are important, and we wanted to focus on that, and we picked some pretty good areas to focus on. So we do hypertension or cardiovascular disease, but just so that everyone will understand. We do diabetes, sleep apnea, which is huge, and we added erectile dysfunction because your cardiovascular disease, your diabetes, and with your hypertension, all affects all of your vascular system. So we added that in there. And then another piece, which I was talking to you about, Dwayne, last night, is HIV, new onset in men, like say over 50. And that's something that is not talked about too much as well. So those are the main areas that we focus. But if there are some other areas that people, are interested in, we certainly can build something around that. What we're doing right now is we went to Cheryl's church.
So it was our first church that we had chose to utilize to reach the men's. Ezon Fair Baptist Church has a men's breakfast the first Saturday of every month, and we thought that that would be a great opportunity for us to reach a significant amount of men in this general population to address some of the healthcare disparities that we feel is important. We pooled some of the deacons that went to the church and asked them what was interesting to them, and we took it and we made some presentations for them. So that particular day we spoke on high blood pressure and the effects that it has on your body as well as your heart, and then and sleep apnea and how it ties into high blood pressure. And I think a lot of people, and we all agree that a lot of people don't realize that one illness can tie into another illness, and that's one of the things that we wanted to home in on this particular day. And it was so successful that we're going to also be reaching out to another church and doing the exact same thing for their ministry, and we're hoping that we'll be able to grow on that platform as far as addressing healthcare disparity for the men in our community.
We do have some pictures, so if Avin and Keisha, at any point during this segment, you guys, if you wanted to play those pictures, that would be fine. But I'm sorry, I think you were going to...
So one of the other things I wanted to mention was our presentations are what I like to call men-friendly, and so men are bottom line.
Yeah.
Okay? They do not want a whole bunch of fluff and stuff. They just want to know the facts, and it just needs to make sense. So our presentations are what I call men friendly, and it is giving the facts and really touching on the things that people probably don't know. So there's this blanket thing that hypertension is bad, and blacks have it more, and diabetes is bad, and if you have sugar, so we sort of broke all that down, and there was a lot of men in the audience that did have either hypertension, diabetes, or both. Some had suffered stroke, so they were very interested in the presentations, and then afterwards they asked a ton of questions, and like I mentioned, the erectile dysfunction, it happened to be something that everybody was interested in, and because of time we weren't able to get to it, but people came to us and said, please, this is something we want to know about. And what we're going to do is have them, we're going to Shiloh Baptist Church next, and what we're going to do is have them put on index cards before they come, because we don't want anybody to feel awkward about asking a question. And so if you put those questions in a box and we don't know whose question it is, then everybody's question could get answered comfortably. But the subject matter that we have is good, and sleep apnea is like a lot of
it's a silent killer sometimes.
Yes, have sleep apnea, and they don't realize, as Cheryl said, that it's a whole syndrome that goes with that. And the bottom line with sleep apnea is when you stop breathing 300-400 times a night for 20 to 30 seconds at a time, that is disruption of your oxygen. That's about as plain as it can get. And you do that 300 times a night, okay? And every system suffers. So it's important to know not just what it is in a sort of overall term, but to know what it is, and then people that have those specific diseases to be able to focus and answer those questions as well. Medications, we got medication questions.
We tried to cover a lot in a short period of time, and so that's why we want to keep reaching out, because you hear it once, but the 3 times is when you really start getting it. And the thing I like about our association is we have a wealth of knowledge in our association. We have nurses working from different spheres of influence, and so we have experts in each area that we're talking about, and different levels of education. We, from an advanced practice nurse to an emergency room nurse to a nurse that's working in intensive care to a nurse that's working in a delivery room. So the fact that we have that diversity of a population, I think the Black Nurses Association moving forward will do phenomenal things for our community if we continue in the path that we're doing.
Are you directing the men on the women somewhere to get the help with it? I know they're writing down the information.
Absolutely.
We have referrals. We always have referrals, especially when we're doing screenings. So when you're doing screenings and someone sits down and they have a blood pressure of, say, 160 over 110, you just don't say, listen, you have high blood pressure, and then you just let them get up and walk away, you know. So you're responsible to at least give them some place to go to, you know, well, you can find out whether they have a primary care physician, and if they don't, then you can tell them where they can go, you know, to get checked for hypertension. And you know, a lot of the pharmacies, CVS, Walgreens, they have walk-in clinics as well. So you can walk in, and sometimes they have those side machines where you can take your blood pressure. But the point is that we'll give them some referrals so that they can have that taken care of, because we have that often where people come and they sit down. And then a lot of times people know they have high blood pressure. Before they sit down, they say, I know my blood pressure is high. And I say, why do you know that? Because, well, I don't take my medicine. Why don't you take your medicine? Some people, they just don't like the way it makes it feel. But a lot of people, it is cost. I either don't have insurance, or I had insurance but I don't have it now. They maybe don't have the money for copay, so then we give a list of Walmarts, because you know Walmart have the very low price prescriptions, so we'll, you know, give them a referral to that. So that's how we lead people back into healthcare, or lead people to healthcare if they haven't had it.
Okay. What about physical training? Like, and I'm not saying that to throw my organization out there,
Look
but
at that face.
I'm 57, and when I tried to get health insurance here, my agent actually said, they're giving you money back because of your age, you're in such good health, they gave me money back. And I know if you're in better health, some of these issues are not issues anymore. So who do you partner with, or who do you direct them with, or who do I hope you might, you know, direct them to help them out with the, you know, getting in better health?
Well, now I can send somebody to break in the barrier.
Why did you fall for this little trap?
You know, it's a really good question, and we're still growing. So as we grow and we expose ourselves, we'll be able to network with more people that we can refer them to. Right now, we're not in that position, but now we've met you.
Yeah, not so much
you know,
for
but we
exercise.
talk about proper eating and things of that nature.
Exactly.
But moving forward, each opportunity that we see that we can improve the community's health, we'll be glad to partner with whoever seems to be able to fit that profile. But right now, we were really just trying to get out there to let them know that, hey, you can have a better health, and we can help you with it. And that's the direction we were taking with the association. But absolutely, you know, the exercise is important, and we need to promote that. So, you know, we could put that on the platform as well.
Well, we do with the eating. Just to elaborate on that, we have fake food display. So we have a huge fake food display.
To give you options.
Cheerios versus Raisin Bran. We have fish, potatoes, and asparagus, and then we have Chinese food. It really looks real. Like, we went to one that we got from one of the places that really display food. So it's not like plastic banana. It really looks like a banana. And that draws a lot of people to the table, and we're able to talk about portion distortion, which is what we call it.
Right.
And one of the biggest things is not so much what you eat, sometimes it's how much you eat as well. So we talk about that, and we do not follow it up. We do say you need to exercise, but we really don't have anything concrete about exercise. So thank you for that, because that's something that we can we can add in.
I think it would be, you know, something to add to. We can talk to you later.
I think affordability is probably one
so
of the
that would
other
be
things.
one of the big questions they would have.
Yeah, that might be one, because you can tell people you can go to the Y or you can go, but you know there's a cost.
It's a lot of money.
You know, but
I always promote all the different parks where you can walk, because it doesn't cost anything to take a little stroll in the neighborhood, to get off the sofa, because they're starting to say inactivity is the next smoking killer.
Wow.
So it's a lot of literature out there that says that if you aren't active, that you might as well smoke a pack of cigarettes. So you have a valid point that we would definitely take forward with that.
So I know you have a BNA website, and you have a Facebook page. So in addition to nurses being able to go to those sites to find out more information, can people go to those sites to find out where you'll be? Like you mentioned you'll be at Shiloh, but can they go to find out where you'll be, and can they go to find out how to get you to come to their church or organization?
Most of what we do, we put on Facebook, because Facebook just seems to be the place to go these days. I'm not that social media savvy, but we do have a person that runs that page, and everything that we're doing we usually put on that page. So we just had a Zumba fundraiser, and that was with Reggie, and he's out of Rose Hill, and
We went to the Kingdom,
Kingswood.
Kingswood,
Community Center.
Community
Right.
Center, yes. Reggie, if you're watching, please. I couldn't. It lost me. for a minute. But it's
It's phenomenal.
the Rose Hill Community Center and then the Kingswood Community Center. And Reggie was awesome. He really helped us put together a great event. It was fun. It was exciting, and I don't know where all that energy comes from, but it was really great. So we put, you know, a little small video up there, and you know, before the event, we let people know, you know, what was going on. And then we talked about this earlier. We do Nurses Night Out, which is really just sort of a fellowship opportunity where anybody who's a nurse, if you want to do something, let your hair down, get away from the hospital and the scrubs. We had a painting with a twist night, and that was fun. It's something to do, it's relaxing, and it also gives nurses a chance to network. And you know, you may have somebody from Christiana, you may have somebody from St. Francis, and also there are, just to distinguish us, there are a few nursing organizations in the area. You have Black Nurses Rock, you have Chi Eta Phi, which is the Black Nursing Sorority, and we are the Black Nurses Association. But that's also an opportunity to get together as well, you know, because collaboration is always good. You know, it doesn't matter. Everybody has the same idea in mind, and that is to impact the disparities, and that's all we all want to do. So the Nurses Night Out sort of helps with that.
So we do try to keep it posted on Facebook, and we also try to network by word of mouth.
Okay.
So.
Well, ladies, we want to thank you so much for coming on
Thank
the
you for
program.
having us.
Thank
It's
you.
been
And
great.
we also want to make sure that you're aware that the door is open. We would love to keep up with the events that you're going to have.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And I know it can be kind of touchy sometimes with videotaping at these kind of things, but we would like to do that, even if it's just a scan. So just keep us in mind.
Absolutely,
Okay?
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you.